Hello guys and welcome back. In this lecture we're going to be talking about 4 really important color tools in Adobe Illustrator. Okay, we're going to be talking about the swatches, we're going to be talking about the color panel, we're going to be talking about the color picker, and finally we'll then round up with the color guide tool or the color guide panel. Okay, now we're going to start with swatches. So swatches, what are swatches, right? I'll just come here and see for yourself. Down, this is what we call the swatches, okay, or the swatches panel. Let me just drag it out like this from here. Okay, so this is what we call swatches. What do? They just hold presets of colors and patterns and gradients which we can basically apply to our graphic. Okay, so that's just what they do. So we have different presets of colors. So when I just create a shape, for example, you just come and choose a swatch here, okay, and immediately that color is then applied. Okay, as you can see, there are different colors under the swatches. We even have this one which says no colors, right? We have different ones. We even have patterns. Okay, we have patterns, we have gradients. I know we haven't spoken about gradients, but we're going to learn about gradients at the end of this module. Okay, we have different colors. We have the grays, we have different colors. Okay, and we have these ones which are called groups. Okay, anyone you see with this kind of folder icon here is a group. So these are groups, and that's just how swatches work. We can create our swatches, we can create our groups, and we can toggle between views. Okay, so this is a more condensed view with the color values. Okay, while this is a more graphic view, will I say, because we then see the colors more clearly, right? Okay, and now there are a few icons here. This one is for delete. Okay, so you can delete a swatch. And then we have this one which enables you create a new swatch. We have this one which enables you create a new group. We have show swatch kinds menu. Okay, so it can show all the swatches here, and then it can show color swatches alone. Okay, remember I said the swatches enable us save colors, save gradients, save patterns, right? So we can enable just colors, we can enable just gradients, we can enable just patterns, we can enable color groups. Okay, and let me just put this as all. And for here you can see different presets of swatches. Okay, now let's come here, and in this place you can actually come here also and then see the different presets, right? That's the library of swatches. Now let's just come here and choose this ancient. Now immediately this library panel opens up, and you can see the colors under this ancient library, right? Let me just close these guys here. We are going to look at them. Okay, and when I come here again and see, let's see celebrations, now you can see that we have these color groups, right? These color groups under celebrations, and as we click them, they just get added to our swatches here. Okay, remember we can select them, just delete. Okay, delete the swatches if we don't want. Okay, good. And then we have many other ones. We have patterns, for example. Let's see nature. Okay, then let's say nature animal skin. Okay, and then you see them here. You just add them to our shape here. Now you see that this one is called the alligator, right? Yeah, this is called the alligator, so it's more of an alligator skin pattern. We have this one which is more of a cheetah, right? Yeah, and then this one elephant skin. We have this one which looks like a giraffe, then this one which looks like a leopard or a jaguar rather, then the peacock, and so many other patterns, right? This one looks like the zebra pattern. And then let's come here again and see if we can get other ones. Let's see. Okay, let's see patterns. Yeah, let's see patterns. Okay, nature and foliage. Yeah, and this is what we get for foliage. Okay, so very nice patterns already made for you. And then if we were to access it from here, it's basically the same thing, right? Just that we can actually move from one preset to another, or from one library to another, with just this these buttons here. Okay, you can see them, hundreds and hundreds of swatches. I haven't even scratched the surface with these. We have a lot of them. We have this one which says web, okay, textile, and so on and so forth. Okay, now how do I create a custom swatch, right? How do I add a custom color? Let's say I click here, which is the color picker tool, okay, and then just kind of select a nice color. Let's say I like this color and it's not here in the swatch and I want to add it to the swatch, right? How do I do that? Just come and click OK, and just come here and basically new swatch. If you click on new swatch, you then see that you're then asked to type in the name of the swatch. Presently we have just the color values. Okay, we have the RGB color values. R is 86 and G is 209 and blue is 226, right? Yeah, and then if you want to leave it as this, you click OK. But if you do not want, you can just type the name, okay, and then we can basically further edit the color. And as you can see, as we increase or decrease the color channels, they appear here. Okay, so the RGB color is just being edited and it's updated, and the values are updated here before your eyes, right? And we can choose other color modes. Okay, we have the grayscale, we have the HSB, we have the CMYK, we have this one, we have this one. Okay, you can do your experiments with them. I'm just going to leave this as RGB, right? Then I'm going to give the name new swatch and OK, and immediately you see that it's now added here. It's now added here. So basically these are what we can, this is what we can do with our swatch. Okay, and we can just keep saving our colors so that we can use them later on. There are many of these swatches which we can use, okay, which we can use, and as you can see, as we just click, they are then added to our swatch. Okay, now I spoke about the color picker panel, and we've actually been using this panel without knowing it. Okay, now this is how you get into the color picker. Just double click here and now you're in. How does it work? You just have a slider here where you can select the color you want, okay, and then you have this one so you can edit it and just use whatever shade of that color you want. And we have the live preview here, and this one is the present color of the selected shape, right? So if you want to just let's say you just want to go back to the selected color, you can just click here and it goes back, and maybe you want to edit it. Okay, so that's how it works. And then we have these codes here. These are what we call the color code. So whatever color you create has a code, so these codes can be copied and used somewhere else, right? And then when it's used somewhere else, let's say on the website, you're going to get exactly this color. Okay, you're going to get exactly this color. And one other thing you can do here is you can actually change it from this view to just swatches. Okay, so you see them as swatches, and you can basically select whatever swatch you want. Okay, as you select it, you see the values, right? The values, and when you select, you can just go back to color mode and do your adjustments. Okay, if you are okay with it, you can now create a swatch with it and have it stored. And this is it. Okay, so that's just it for your color picker tool and your color swatches or your swatches. Now the next thing we have to look at is the is the color panel. Okay, now this is the color panel. Just select this guy, and yeah, this is the color panel. This is how you should see your color panel, right? Now we also have options here. We can create a swatch from a color panel, from the color which we've chosen or which we've sampled from our color panel. Come here and create new swatch. Okay, and you can, as you can see, it's now added to our color panel. Okay, come here, create new swatch. Okay, and it's now added to our color panel. Okay, now there are different modes here. We have the grayscale mode, which just shows you gray, that's black and white. Then we have the RGB, which shows you RGB, HSB, CMYK, which works with CMYK, and then Save Web colors. Okay, Save Web RGB. Okay, this is just another color mode. Okay, then we have inverts. This inverts, I don't see every option here as useful. Might never use some of these options. We have invert, we have complement, and then let's just go to RGB and then show options. Now when we click show options, what do you see? You then see that you can edit the colors. Okay, with these sliders here, you can edit the values of the colors, you can edit them, and then probably create a new swatch with what you've come up with, or you can copy the color modes here, sorry, the color code here. Okay, so this is the color code. You can copy it just like how we copied the color code in this place. Okay, basically, and you can basically toggle between the stroke and the fill color like we did before. Okay, you can toggle between the stroke and the fill color. Okay, so you can toggle between the stroke color and the fill color like we did before. And basically that's it for the color panel. Let me just close these guys here, close these guys, close the color panel. And then the last tool we're going to be looking at is the color guide tool. Okay, the color guide, where are you? This is the color guides panel. And how does it work, right? How does this panel work? Now the color guide panel helps us to choose different other colors. Let's assume we make a selection of a color here. Let's just go with blue, right? This shade of blue. So what the color panel does is it helps us choose other colors that can blend well with our selected color. As you can see, as I just selected this blue, the colors here just changed, right? So it uses the principle of color theory, okay, to help us generate other colors, okay, based on concepts like tints, shades, how well they complement, okay, complementary colors, and so on and so forth. So that is what this tool uses to help us generate colors that will blend better with our selected color. Okay, so if we select, let's say, this color here, okay, we then see that the color guide tool immediately generates colors for us. Okay, and there are of course options for the color panel, and we have here where we can actually choose whether it should show us tints or shades. Okay, so we click tints or shades, this is what we get. And here we can actually choose whether it should show us the warm and cool complements of that color. Okay, and then here we can choose the vivid stroke muted complements of that color. Okay, so all these are concepts of color theory. So that's how this tool works. Let's just select tints and shades right now, and then we can actually edit our colors with this tool right here, right? We can edit our colors with this tool right here. We can choose different other presets. Okay, different other presets. You're going to see different other presets which the color guide tool uses to generate these colors for us. Okay, so we can have complementary, we can have complementary 2, we can have analogous colors, and then we can have triad, we can have contrast, and so on and so forth. So all these colors will actually blend well with our selected color. Okay, and we're going to use this simple design here to just help us illustrate how these colors will kind of blend well. Okay, so let me just start by selecting a color I would like. Let me go with this guy. Okay, so good. Now we can just come here, select select this guy and just give it this color, right? Okay, which is the main color. Right, now for this one I want something a little bit darker, so you can see I can now choose this shade of the color. And for this guy I might want something brighter, I can now choose this shade. For this guy I might want something very dark, I'll choose this shade. And finally for this guy I might want something brighter. As you can see, with the aid of the color guide tool, we've been able to select colors that fit perfectly, okay, with this design. This guy, let's choose something maybe darker. Yeah, this will work, and that's perfect. Now for these guys, let me just make a use of these ones. Okay, let's see what we can come up with. And for the background, let's make the background let's just use this as the background. And then for these guys, you can have something like this, and this guy can look like this, right? So guys, take a look at this. This is all by the aid of the color guide tool. Okay, we've come up with this design, and we could also have different variations, right? Just drag it down. We'll have different variations. For example, we could say we want to use let's see, we want to use this preset. Right now we have other colors we can choose from. Now let's see, we can turn this guy. In fact, we can completely change the look of this design. We can make these guys like this, kind of like this. Okay, then we can make these guys darker, make this guy way darker. Okay guys, now for this one we could just leave the background as this. And for this guy, maybe take this shade of blue, and yeah, and maybe you can just make this a little bit darker. Yeah, this also works. And as you can see, just by using the color guide tool, we've been able to create color selections. Okay, 2 different color selections with just the colors the color guide tool has helped generate. Okay, so you can see for yourself how the color guide tool makes work very easy for us in Adobe Illustrator. And with this, we've come to the end of this video. Now in the next lecture, we will be learning about other color tools. See you there.